Hello Star Wars fans, and welcome to episode 114 of Journey into Legends. Today we are going to be reading MedStar Battle Surgeons. Released in 2004, Battle Surgeons is the first book in the MedStar duology by Michael Reeves and Steve Perry. I haven't heard very much about the contents of this duology, however I have heard that it's pretty good, so I'm excited to jump into it. Without further ado, let's read and review. So this book takes us to the planet Drongar, where the Republic and Separatists are fighting over a miracle plant called Bota. While this is a Clone Wars novel and there is a battle going on, that's not really what this book is about. Instead, we follow the doctors and surgeons of the Mobile Medical Unit Rimzu 7 as they treat Republic forces. It's basically the Star Wars version of the show MASH, and I really enjoyed it. The medical setting of this book provided such a unique perspective that we never really see in Star Wars. I found it really fascinating to see the inner workings of a medical facility in this galaxy, and the doctors operating on clone troopers with every patient being identical to the last was really interesting thematically. Like I said, this is a very character-centric book, as we spend all our time with a group of surgeons, doctors, and other characters. Usually I don't like when a book lacks a bit in plot, but this book was an absolute blast, mainly because the characters were so much fun. Starting with Joss Vondar, who at first seemed like a pretty boring character. However, as the book went on, I really started to enjoy his character as he started to question the individuality of both clones and droids, and I found his relationship with Tolk Latrine increasingly interesting as the book went on. I also really enjoyed his friend Zan Yant, whose musical talents were a really fun character quirk. His death was also surprisingly tragic. Then there's the reporter Dendur, who I found a pretty fun character. And a fun surprise was the return of I-5 from Darth Maul's Shadowhunter. I really was not expecting to see him appear in this book, so that was a fun surprise. And I think with him being a near-sentient droid, he really complemented Joss Vondar's arc really well. And finally, there's Barriss Offee, who didn't really have much to do beyond help with the healing efforts, and her development didn't go beyond some simple dark side temptations against a thug named Fauji, but her inclusion in the book did help ground it to Star Wars and this Clone Wars era, and she did fit really well with the other characters. While this book is almost entirely character-driven, there is a small conspiracy subplot revolving around the Bota plant, involving a Republic admiral named Tarneez Blade, a Hutt named Philba, and some Black Sun operatives. This plotline was nothing too special, but it did provide a little suspense and plot to the book. There's also a spy at the Rimzu whose identity has yet to be revealed. Right now, I'm leaning toward Tolk Latrine, as the love interest turned secret spy plot twist is a pretty common one. So overall, I ended up really enjoying this book, much more than I expected. Although the lack of a substantial plot may be off-putting to some people, I didn't really mind it. The cast of characters at the medical facility more than made up for the lack of plot. This book ended up having such a laid-back and carefree feel to it. It was a very short and sweet read, and I would highly recommend it. In the wake of Zan Yant's death at the end of the first book, this short story, MedStar Intermezzo, picks up with Joss Vondar operating on a Zabrak mercenary who's revealed to be responsible for Zan's death. And so, during the operation, Joss deals with the temptation to purposefully kill the patient and avenge his friend Zan. This was an awesome little story that did a great job of exploring Joss's grief, and I love how it ends ambiguously, not revealing Joss's eventual decision and the fate of the mercenary. Next, we have Volume 5 of the Clone Wars Adventures series, which has 4 stories, starting with What Goes Up, which follows Aayla Secura and the 327th Battalion during a recon mission to the Forest Moon of Endor. After some of her troops go missing, Aayla goes to investigate, gets ambushed by Ewoks, and is sent to defeat the cave monster that killed her troops. This one was a decent little story. I thought it was really cool seeing Endor during the Clone Wars era. Next, we have Bailed Out, in which Bail Organa pretends to join the Confederacy on a mission to the planet Metalorn. In reality, he is there to rescue Shaak Ti from a prison there. This one was nothing too special, it was just really cool to see Organa, Shaak Ti, Metalorn, and Wat Tambor in this art style. Our next story is Heroes on Both Sides. During a battle on Vidov, the Separatists trigger a self-destruct sequence that will kill both Republic and native Vidov citizens. During a confrontation between a clone commander and a Vidov commander, the clone kills the Vidov, but not before the alien was able to destroy the computer, saving them both. This one was a pretty underwhelming story. Anyways, our last story is The Order of the Outcasts, which follows a Jedi Padawan named Jock Saw during a Republic raid on an outpost. During their fight with the locals, the clones execute Order 66 on Jock Saw, who joins forces with the locals to fight the clones. This was a fine story, it wasn't anything too special, although I really liked that the Padawan joined with the locals against the clones. I thought that was a really fun twist. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for my next video where I'll be finishing the MedStar duology with Book 2, Jedi Healer. See ya.